Okay, great. We are live and we actually have a bonus edition of Quantum Leap today. We're celebrating, the return of Facebook. We were so excited that we wanted to throw in another session. Great to be back, um, we have really a business expert here and somebody really known around the BNI world, which is the world that Cory and I and Chrissy live in, because it's such a great place to be, as we're going to explore. And great to have you here, Chrissy. We understand that you were out in California for a little bit, visiting some of your BNI colleagues and doing some fun stuff. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's one of the greatest things about BNI. You have friends all over the world. So I take advantage when they say, hey, come visit, and I do.
Great. And I know when I told Cory you were coming on, he's like, great. How do you know Chrissy? I said, well, Mike Macedonia recommended you as a great person. So I want to thank Mike for having you on. And, but just Cory, do you want to give a testimonial about how you know Chrissy first, if you work together, and then we'll have her tell us her story or introduce herself?
Well, yeah, I can just briefly say, I think we met probably at a BNI conference many years ago. And then when I was with Ascentive, we had a conversation about maybe doing some workshops in her area. And Gail and I were kind of traveling back and forth to Tucson here and there. But that kind of all fell through for various reasons. Our priorities shifted, and COVID shifted everybody's priorities. And I'm no longer with Ascentive, but we continue to run into each other here and there. And of course, they're good friends with my good friends Don and Mike. So we know each other a little bit, but I think we know each other more through Facebook, so we can all be thankful that it didn't stay off too long. Just kidding. I hardly even know. It's always fun to joke about.
Yes.
I know Chrissy has a very interesting story about how she got into BNI, and I think that really resonated with me too. And I'll let her tell it, and then we can maybe discuss some of the highlights. But Chrissy, if you don't mind just sharing your story of how you got into being the executive director there in Arizona of BNI, but you also have a very substantive business background in some different areas as well.
Yeah, so I got invited, like a lot of people. I got invited by a good friend of mine, and she said, hey, come check out this BNI thing. And I had no idea what BNI even stood for. I had never heard of it. I was a residential real estate appraiser, so I had run many offices here in Tucson, and woke up one day and realized they're making a lot of money and I'm doing everything. Maybe I should go ahead and get my license. So I got my license, and in the same time of getting my license, my friend Deanna said, hey, come to BNI. We're starting this brand new chapter. You're a native Tucsonan. It's all about relationships. Come check it out. So I walked into a room. And anybody that knows BNI, you walk into a room and you are made to feel comfortable, and you kind of walk into a room full of friends, even though you don't know each other yet. So it made perfect sense. I went back to my boss at the time and I said, I need this amount of money, and I'm going to be gone on Wednesdays for this amount of time. And I'm pretty sure this is going to work. Like, I'm pretty sure this is amazing marketing. It did, I know, crazy enough. So we launched that chapter in February of 2005. And over the years, I took on all of the different roles. So I was president, VP, and through the time, I realized that I still was doing, and I was helping, and I was putting in the time to create the relationships. And yet my boss wasn't paying me anymore. And so I went to him and I said, hey, do you want to be partners? You're older, you don't really want to do this for a long time. Let's partner up. And he said, no. And I said, okay, I'm going to take my BNI clients, not going to touch any of our other clients. I'm only going to take the people that I have relationships with, and I'm going to start my own company. And I started my own company because of BNI. It was fantastic, 05, 06, 07. And then Arizona decided we were going to try to be California. It didn't work out so great for us. And the market crashed. And so I closed my appraisal company, took me a bit to really realize that, and then ended up, I sold skincare for a while. My first husband was an auto mechanic, and I was his representative. I had a great tagline. I know we don't do taglines anymore, but my tagline was, Craig fixes your wheels so I can buy more heels. It was remembered by all, let me tell you. And around that same time, around 2008, the franchise owner asked me to be a director consultant. And I got sent to Long Beach and sat in a room with, I don't know, 40, 50 people from all over the world. And I really realized that BNI was bigger than my chapter in Tucson, Arizona. And from that, I have relationships still in 2008. And then, through a course of really wonderful events in 2010, the franchise was up for sale, and I called the then CEO of BNI, Norm Dominguez, and said, you can't sell this to anybody else but me. And the rest, shall we say, is history. October 1st was my 11th anniversary as the executive director, which is so crazy that it's been so long. So it really has changed my life.
Yeah, congratulations. And there's no really better advertisement from BNI than people like you that are happy and successful and really recommend it. But I did want to just kind of back up a little bit and just talk about some of the nuts and bolts of BNI. Say somebody's watching this, they're a business owner, they've maybe heard of BNI, or maybe they have no idea what it is. And you actually represent BNI in Arizona, but BNI is global. It's all over the world. If maybe somebody's in Barcelona, Spain, or in Germany,
Yeah.
could you just tell us, why a business owner, wherever they may be, should check out BNI and what it could do for their business?
Yeah, I always say, just come visit. Just come visit, right? When people ask me like, oh no, I've heard about that BNI thing. I'm like, have you visited? And they're like, well, no, but I've heard about it. I'm like, oh, you got to come visit. They're like, well, I've heard this and this. And I'm like, hey, we are not asking you to join anything. We just want to offer you an opportunity to meet some really super amazing people, right? Because you never know who's in the room. So, David, you talked about Barcelona and how big is BNI? Well, the beautiful thing about BNI is BNI refers BNI across the world. So I have a car dealer here in Southern Arizona. He sells cars for a fairly large, the guy has been in Tucson for a very, very long time. And he called me last week and he said, you're not going to believe it, I got a referral from England. I'm like, what? Renee, you sell cars in Tucson. And he said, I know. He said, this BNI guy who used to be a member in Chicago moved to England, but his parents live in Tucson. And his parents said, hey, we want to buy a Subaru. And his son looked up on BNI and, well, no Subaru, but we've got Renee with Jim Click, and he works at Mazda. So mom, dad, go buy a Mazda from Renee. Guess what they did? They went and bought a Mazda from Renee. So you just don't ever know. And BNI might not be right for you right now. Maybe it's not a good time. However, you just don't know who you're going to meet and who you're going to connect with. And there's probably going to be somebody in that room that you actually need. So that's what I always say. I'm like, just come visit. Take the opportunity to share your business. You just don't ever know.
Excellent. And I actually call it the butterfly effect. I know I first became familiar with that term from Jurassic Park, that movie where the scientist talks about, a butterfly's wings causing a hurricane or some storm all the way across the world. And that's really, a great visual of it. And I know Ivan has a great podcast on this butterfly effect, but there's so much magic that happens in BNI, and that anecdote's such a good example of that because the people in BNI are so tuned in around the world and looking to help people, and it's such a unique network. So I did, which actually leads into my next question. I have some ideas about, what makes BNI so different from the rest of the business community. I think a big thing is core values and the purpose of some of the folks in BNI, but how would you say that the BNI community and business owners in BNI differ from people who the rest of the business community that is maybe operating outside of BNI?
I think we're givers. I think that's the biggest thing. I think that the majority, not everybody, the majority though, understand that giving has to happen first before receiving. This isn't like we talk about, we're a networking organization, we're a referral organization, we're a marketing organization, and all of those things are true. First and foremost, we're a people organization. It's all about the people. It's about the people. And what sets BNI people apart is the fact that we come in not with the mindset of what can I get out of this room, but more, who can I help? And again, that's not everybody everywhere. And yet 99.9% of us, I believe, are really truly in the room to create communities within communities and really help each other be better business people, frankly, just be better humans. And over the last 18 months, I know I am really grateful for the fact that I have some really amazing humans. And yeah, BNI happens to be our connection. And I just think it's not a fluke that the people that end up becoming a part of this organization are just better people. And if we weren't, we become better. I know I'm much better than I was in 2004. The education and the people that I've met and the friendships that I've made have made me better. I'm a much better person because of this tiny idea that Dr. Meissner had all those years ago. I thank him often for it.
Yeah, and it is an incredible thing to look at BNI and the history of BNI and where Ivan's gone with BNI, and a lot of that's come from he practices what he preaches. He's evolved this organization into really a business leadership community in a lot of ways, and by teaming up with people like John Maxwell to bring us these great resources and other things. He says, hey, check this out. So we're exposed to this path that Ivan traveled first, and he's put us all on, which is an amazing thing. And
Yeah.
I don't know if Cory, if you had any comments about what makes BNI unique. And I know this is one of our favorite themes that we love to explore on this podcast. But I did want to ask you if you had any reaction, also turn it over to you for the next question.
Yeah, I think I could echo all that. I've been doing it 20 years. So, and I must have become a director right around the same time you did. Gail and I went to training February of 2008. You want to say?
Okay, right before me. So I was
Okay.
in Long Beach in November of 2008.
Yeah, because I think we were in Upland, and so then we got the dinner with Ivan. That was always
I
fun.
know, lucky you.
But I think it does definitely. It does have the education arm, which also makes it unique. It's interesting that a lot of people join for the referrals and stay for the education, right? And it's not just the formal, BNI university education. It's what you learn from everyone else, and from being there, and so it's and of course the relationships. So it is definitely I think a better class of owners for the most part, and it's the consistency that keeps that going. That people who are consistent, they're the kind of people who show up. The ones who don't last are the ones who are not very consistent. And and we see that over and over again where they leave and then you never hear from them again. But one of the things I was going to ask is, what do you think is the big announcement that Ivan's going to make? You may already know. I don't know.
I actually don't know. I don't know. I saw that on Facebook. I wanted to text him and ask him, and then I was like, no, don't do that. He's not going to tell you.
I think he's good.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Gail and I think he's going to go into space.
So I know for I do know for a fact that
Yeah.
that they I do believe that that was one of the things that he and Beth had chatted about for sure, because we've had conversations with them over the years. So I don't know. We'll see.
He is friends with Richard Branson, right? So Virgin Galactic, there's a chance. Yeah.
He is.
I wonder if they'll like take one member of BNI and it's going to be like some big.
Oh my goodness. Can you even imagine what that would be like? I can't even imagine what that would look like.
Yeah, anyway, so anyway, well, we'll know later this week.
We will. We will. We're going live with it, right?
Right. Well, you know, Dawn, and you know, Referral Institute Incentive, and you know that one of our favorite things to know is what is somebody's why. So the question I'd ask you is, what is your why?
What is my why? So again, I have to say thank you, BNI, because Dawn Lyons, Mike Macedonio, Eddie Esposito, I was friends with them. I had gone through Room Full of Referrals a lot of times, which is another incentive course that I love. I put my entire team through it and still would if it was available. And I'm hoping it'll come back because we really want to do that because I love that class. And when in 2013, they did the Certified Networker like crash course, basically. And it was right before conference. And I was going through a rough time. Like my marriage was not really going well. There was a lot going on with me. My kid was 13. I know you were like, oh, mine's throwing tantrums. I hate to tell you, Cory, wait till 13. So I went in really open to this class, and I was in a class with about 30 people, and they walk us through, many things that take you to the why. So I won't tell the entire story. I will say that I grew up in a fairly volatile home. My father has been sober for 18 years, which I'm really, really thankful for. My parents are still together. And yet there was a time that it didn't look like that. And I was the only kid in the house, and it was volatile. And I kind of just had to take care of me because they were navigating what they needed to take care of. And I love them, and they actually live in our guest house next door. So we're all good. And it taught me a lot. Through that class, what I realized was my entire life, I was searching out places and people that had my back. Because when my parents were going through their stuff, it wasn't that they didn't love me. They did. They didn't have time to be who I needed them to be at that point. And so I was just searching, right? It was church, or it was a really good friend, or whatever it was. And in that class, what I realized, obviously quite emotionally, was, oh my goodness, why do I do this? Because I have this amazing community of people I get to help create this space where that's all we do. That's all we do is have each other's back. And selfishly, I make fantastic friends and they have my back. And that's what I really searched for. And I didn't even know that's why I searched for it until November 4th of 2013. And it completely changed my life. So I ended up ending that marriage, and yet he and I are good friends. In fact, the gentleman that I met at a BNI conference in Nashville, Tennessee, and married, he is at Craig's house right now redoing our bathroom for our daughter, who's getting ready to have a baby next year. So this full circle, but again, I don't think that I would be able to have that relationship, or that I would have this relationship with this amazing person, that I have these two men that I love and I'm thankful for. I just don't think I would be here were it not for the people and all of the things I've learned in BNI. Sounds so crazy because I joined to get appraisal referrals, right? Like that's why I joined in 2004. Like, oh, I'm going to get some appraisal referrals. And now I have no idea where my life would be without BNI.
Yeah, I totally understand. I started out as a software developer thinking I just fix some computers because I wanted to make sure that I kept a steady flow of business. I wasn't having any trouble getting business. Somebody said, you ought to try this out. I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. And,
Right.
and then I met my wife there 6 months later. Yeah, it's all history now.
That's right. That's exactly right. That's how it works, right?
Yeah, it's so when people say, like, I don't know where to find anybody. It's like, start a business, join BNI. You never know who you meet.
It's pretty easy, right? It's pretty easy.
I think you touched on something that's very important in BNI, and it's almost taught more through demonstration and example, so to speak, is the power of collaboration, the collaborations that come from BNI. And I know we do see that in the normal business environment out there, but I think that's something very unique about BNI. I mean, also supporting each other. I mean, technically these are not all core values of BNI's, but they go along with their key core values of, givers gain. And so it is a life-changing organization. And why we stay is the people. It's so powerful. The people in BNI and the people you meet, the people you still can meet too. So.
Well, and I love the fact that I watch these competitors. They're supposed to be competitors like out in the world, right? And they're coming together and they're masterminding and they're trying to figure out how they can help one another. And I'm like, where does that happen? Like, this is not, BNI eliminates the cutthroat sales tactics. Like, let's get together, let's collaborate, let's be a community and figure out how we can be better, because there's plenty of business to go around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could probably talk about that for hours.
Yes.
But in the interest of time and knowing that we got to wrap up here quickly, I think this is a good question. And so what advice do you have for business owners networking to grow their business during this challenging times? And I know the first bit of advice is, check out your local BNI chapter, but what else would you suggest?
I think the biggest thing is, no matter what you're doing, when you're out networking, when you're out connecting with people, I just think you have to be an active listener. And, Ivan himself says we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, and we need to use them proportionately. And I believe that when we are networking, when we are just out in our community, when we're talking to our clients, I think if we're asking questions and then just being quiet and listening, I think we're going to learn a lot more, and I think we can be more effective for our clients and for our customers. I know that's, I had a conversation today that was a fairly tough conversation, and there were lots of times I wanted to blurt, and I'm like, nope. Listen, I think there's just a piece of that the last 18 months have been hard on everybody. It's been different kind of hard for different people. Some people got so busy they couldn't take it. Some people lost their businesses. Some people decided to start new businesses because of where we were. Yes, of course, I'm always going to say, go visit. You do not have to join BNI. Nobody's going to hold you underwater, I promise. But give you and yourself a shot at meeting some really fantastic people. Just go visit. And then when you're out at your chamber events or your professional organizations, don't pass out 50 cards. Figure out a couple, 2 or 3 people that you can meet and have really meaningful conversations with, ask good questions, and then listen.
Great. Yeah, we just a time check here, Cory. We have about 3 minutes. I like that.
All right.
Comment about waterboarding. I don't know if any corporations still use waterboarding, but
well, I just want to make sure. I want to make sure everybody out there understands. just come take a look.
Well, I think, there's also a lot of other fears. Public speaking. There's a number of reasons why people sometimes are a little hesitant. And
Yes.
there's a statistic that Gail and I are kind of been looking at is something like 2 million people have started new businesses in the last year. It's a rather incredible number, and it is all due to COVID. There's a lot of people they won't go back to work, or now that they don't have to commute, they're opening those little side businesses, and
Yeah.
it's not really the best fit for BNI. it's certainly, plenty of opportunities to network and find out if you want to make it full time.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
A lot of BNI businesses have gone from part time to full time that way. So
Absolutely.
Cory, should we just end with that quick question on about if there's anybody out there you might want to connect with, your ideal client, so to speak? We know you have kind of a unique role in that you're the executive director of BNI, but is there anybody out there you're looking to connect with out in Arizona, Southern Arizona area?
I love coming in and helping and doing trainings for organizations. And I always get asked, but are you going to sell us BNI? And I'm like, no, it's not about BNI at all. I really like to come in and just help people become more effective. So connections with chambers or professional organizations are really helpful for me because it allows me to get in front of some people and hopefully help them network and become more effective. And if they're more effective and they have additional marketing dollars in the future, then yes, maybe they'll look at BNI. If they don't, that's okay too. But those are great connections. I love, doing 5 minute, 10 minute, I can come in and I can talk for hours. So
Yeah, great to hear. And thanks for the great segment and all your insights. And Cory, do you have any closing comments? Otherwise, we are at time here. Yeah.
We are at 2:29. I so appreciate you all taking the time, David, Cory. It's great to see you both again. And thank you for giving me the opportunity today. I really appreciate it.
I'm glad to have you on.
Yeah, sounds great. We'll keep in touch and we'll look forward to having you back at some point, or at least inviting you back. So thank you.
Absolutely. You invite me back, I will be here.
Excellent. Have a great day. We'll see
Thank you.
everybody later. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.